Kerbal Space Program. Zombies in Space. Episode 17. Zombie Rescue. So it kind of lost some video along the way, but we managed to get the rescue craft in orbit around Moon. And the plan is to land it right near Geneory and recover him from the surface. Oh, of course, doing some science, gravity scans, yeah, awesome. And of course, folding up the panels is always good. Don't really want the solar panels out, just in case we do some rolling like we have done in the past. Rolling right along. Okay, do a burn. Of course, we want to get low above the crater, but we don't want to hit anything before we get into the crater. There's the trick. Okay, so that burn should help. Plot our trajectory, and now to point towards the blue marker and fire the engine at the appropriate time. So we're kind of skimming over the surface, less than 9,000 meters above sea level, whatever that means on Moon. I don't know. I can guarantee that the land that we're skimming over is high, a lot closer to us than that. Not sure how close, I haven't checked. Ooh, there's a neat crater. It'd be pretty hard to land in that thing, I think. We're not going to try that today. So we're making the burn, and that is done. So hopefully we don't crash into anything. The trajectory doesn't show that we're going to crash into anything. But we're doing the good old horizontal skim across the surface. And we're a little more than 8 kilometers up. And trying to aim for retrograde. And I've set Geneory as my target, so the pink indicators on the nav ball basically show my orientation in relation to him. And you can see him and his flag and where he's at in the crater. And again, we don't want to aim for where his ship landed, because it's the whole crater within a crater thing, and it wasn't a very nice landing spot. Certainly wasn't a very nice landing attempt. This lander should be a lot better than the one that he was using, but it's probably best not to try to land there. Yeah, I don't think I showed it in any of the videos, but we had Geneory go over the ridge. I know I talked about that when I was recording that episode. So he's gone over the ridge, and he's waiting for rescue. Okay, so we're looking at about 20 kilometers away, just a little bit more, and we're going, oh, we've got the engines firing now, going a little more than 400 meters per second. So fire those engines. I'm trying to come in fairly close to him. Got plenty of fuel to maneuver, so burning a little bit off here, trying to change the trajectory a little. So I'll do a little bit of maneuvering and whatnot, and try and fire a little bit higher to raise my altitude. Okay, so we're, well, 4 kilometers away from him. And so I'm thinking that the surface is about 400 meters altitude. So we're going to try and burn in his general direction so we can get closer to him, because we have now overshot our target. But we'll try to burn towards him anyway, a little bit. And certainly one of the big goals is to slow us down, because we're still going over 80 meters per second. Oh, well, this is interesting. Well, I guess that's not a bad deal either. I didn't realize this is in target mode, so this is our speed relative to the target. That's an interesting way of looking at things, but I guess that does indicate our, more or less, our horizontal velocity, I guess. Well, if I did some fancy trigonometry, that would be a combination of our vertical and horizontal velocities, I would think. And we're drifting over that way. So he's almost 3 kilometers away. And we adjust things. And so yeah, I figured out that you know, the way I'm pointing my craft, I probably don't want it pointed straight at him or at the crash site that he was at, because when I release this tank, it could very well hit something that I don't want it to hit. Anyway, we're less than 2.5 kilometers away now, and going to try to maneuver to get a little bit closer. Ideally. Well, maybe not. 2.1 kilometers away. Trying to slow down our speed. Yeah, and I did not realize that that was set for target. Okay, drop the landing gear, turn on the lights, ready to land, and I do the foolish thing once again of dropping the stage when the engines are firing. It's a bad idea. Oh boy. 2,500 meters up from sea level, which means, if I'm correct, we're about 2,000 meters up from the actual surface. You can see our shadow down there. For a second there we were actually going upwards. Now we're going down again, picking up speed. So from the surface, now did that automatically change? I don't know. So our surface speed is, we're cutting it, we're letting it drop more, we're cutting it, we're letting it drop more. The shadow's coming up. Gain, I don't know. I'm not sure how far we are from the surface. I don't think my estimate is going to be correct. I think we're a lot closer than my estimate was from before. Going 4 meters per second, 3 meters per second. We're thrusting and cutting, thrusting and cutting. We're kind of floating horizontally a little, but I don't really want to try and figure that part out. So we land, and the craft seems to have worked well. So drop the ladders, because we have invented ladder technology, high tech, and we're about 1.7 kilometers away. So get Geneory going with his rocket pack, have him fly up to the rescue lander, and it looks like he will make it home. Well, he does have some work ahead of him, but the craft is there. Should have a fair amount of fuel. Oh, and he's doing a nice power slide across the surface of Moon. Oh, what a brave soul, or something. Zombie, brave zombie. because all zombies can survive such power slides. Okay, oh, and of course this is sped up. This isn't regular speed. And he's sliding, and he slides right to the base of the ladder. Nicely done. Get some extra style points for that. So I try to actually grab some of the science and bring it into the capsule when I get in there. So a whole bunch of science is stored in the capsule. Try to do a crew report. Oh, write that down. And try all the other scientific experiments. I don't know if I ended up saving something. Nope, I don't think anything's being saved. So open up the solar panels again. Get him out there. And do the photo op stuff. Plant the flag. Oh, I might have sped this up. This might be hard to read. Da-da-da. And what are we going to call this? They came back. Well, they didn't really come back. They sent me a ride home. Home. Alright. Good enough. Okay, take a surface sample. The crater seems to have been really nasty, have a really nasty impact, something. Anyway, write that down. Start to say something dramatic and poignant about the plight of Kerbal kind in this grand universe, only be cut off by random radio chatter that the situation is nominal. Okay, write that down. Write that down. Get in the ship and go home. Actually, I don't think he'll be going home in this episode. That will be something that will be shown in the next episode as he tries to return back to Kerbin in his fancy rescue craft. Although he's trying to get a whole bunch of science here. Okay, in you go. I'm bored anyway. What am I going to do with science that I can't use? Dump it. Not much of an option. Not much of an option. Alright, well, on that note, I think that pretty much sums it up. So Geneory's got his craft, he's got his ride home. Next episode, we'll see if he gets there. Alright, until then, we'll see you.